Welcome to Hoops Life. I'm sitting here with Pat. Pat, you want to tell me a little bit about your program that you have for the kids?
Okay. We have developed a 12-week leadership and life skill program for kids that uses basketball to introduce children to self-awareness.
Okay. And is it for any type of child, or what are you mainly focused on?
Well, of course, all children would share the idea that they want to have fun, and what we do is we work with kids that, there might be some children that have played organized basketball before, and there are children that never have played, and so we work with kids not specifically to talk about the sport, but to talk about the idea of team. And so when you ask the question, who's it for? Well, I don't know any child who doesn't need an opportunity to understand what they're doing and the impact they make in people's lives. And that would do everything from their home life to at school, and of course even in sports.
Okay, so let me ask you this, how would they go about applying for all of this?
We have, of course, our main facility, the flagship here in Tavares, and we have our webpage. They can find out more information at hoopspatburke.com, and they can also call us at 352-253-4667, and that's our office number. So, a lot of people would have the opportunity not only just to hear about it, but they can come visit and see exactly what we're doing. Because I do believe that the program that we've created is unique in that it's individualized, and the approach that we take with working with people is different.
Okay, so let's go a little bit step further. Tell me why you decided to make this your mission to help out.
Wow.
Tell me a little bit more about it.
Well, to tell you a little bit about myself, I played professional basketball for 12 years. I played for the Orlando Magic, and I played for the Phoenix Suns, and I played many years overseas. And the idea that I reached the pinnacle of success with basketball was not always the path that I knew I was going to have growing up. And so as a youth, when I was younger, I was the youngest of 6 children growing up, and I would share that with such a large family, I identified to do things a lot by myself, and that's not to share that everything I did had success. It just means that I looked to do things by myself. So I did a lot of things that didn't come out very well, and some that did, and I was a troubled youth in education. I had very difficult times looking to get good grades and understanding even the practices of doing homework and doing that. And so what occurred was I started to fall behind, and the good Lord actually blessed me, of course, with a growth spurt that changed my path.
Yes, that seems to have helped you.
Yeah.
So your mission now that you've done all of this has been changed from your mission, I guess, playing pro ball, going to play for different leagues or different basketball teams. Your mission now is sort of totally different. So what inspired you to get where you're at now?
When I was playing professionally, I would say that most of the people viewing this would agree that a professional athlete has to take care of themselves, with their performance and their skill, and with their understanding of training and preparation. And it's a selfish approach. If you're going to have success in something and you're looking to be at your top level, you have to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And coming out of professional sports, I did that a lot and realized that that was not going to be an approach that was going to work, especially with children. And so I had a young man who came into our facility the first year we were open, and he reminded me a lot of myself. I shared that I had a large growth spurt, and when I first started playing basketball, I did not have the skills, I did not have the mindset, I did not have the understanding of confidence and how to actually play the game. And I had a coach that was always telling me what to do. And there was one moment in time where he actually humiliated me in front of the whole team. And I thought I was actually done with the game. And that same event of, you know, someone getting hurt and feeling bad actually happened in my life. But I was on the other side of it without even realizing that I had become that same coach. And we had a young man who was 14 years old. And he came into our facility and he wanted to train. And he said, I have no organized experience. I want something to do. And shortly into his enrollment, he collapsed just doing a simple task of jumping rope. And he became very distraught and emotional. And he shared with us that he was contemplating suicide. And at that moment, you have a moment to wake up and realize that this is more than just playing basketball. This is an opportunity to get to know people and to assist them in their lives. And I started to realize that's what happened with my second coach. After that moment where I had the introduction of someone providing limits and opinions on my life and actually making me feel like I wasn't worthy of playing, I had a new coach that created this opportunity of team. How can I assist you in what it is you want to accomplish? And that worked through my education. This coach actually assisted me in getting my grades back, to working on the fundamentals of the game to understand how to assist the team, while also creating intrigue from coaches and colleges and universities to come see what I was doing. That realization of that second person made me realize that what I was doing with that young man was not going to assist him in his life, and that's when I would say I sought out to figure a better way in which to work with people.
So let me ask you this. Let's dig a little deeper. You said that you used to want to do everything by yourself, correct?
Yeah.
So what transformed you that it may help somebody else into being a team now, thinking more of a team player? What got you to that point?
Well, first of all, I had to understand where I was at that point in my life. And that's with everybody. When you stop and if you were to write down on a piece of paper what's going on in my life and what I'm looking to change, most people don't realize that they're choosing what's going on. Like, that's what's being created. If there was a formula and you were looking at it to say, how am I here with my health or my relationships in life or my education, or that, well, people make choices all the time. And so that was what empowered me to understand that what I was doing in my life at that moment was not assisting me to work with youth in a way that would be at a much higher level of throughout their whole life. Instead of just being on a basketball court, how do I create that opportunity to work with them that would change and transform and strengthen and develop other things in their life? And that was created, of course, through my youth. If I didn't know what it was that I was doing by myself that created the things that were breaking, the things that were failing, and then I wouldn't even understand that what I was doing by myself was, failing a lot.
Okay. So let me make it. Let's say this. Let's say there is a child that's used to just being in a corner, playing games by itself. You have to transform him into teamwork. Is part of that program that you do have now that assists them in trying to open them up so that they can realize what teamwork is?
Yeah. Well, of course, with anybody, you have to ask them what is it they want first.
Okay.
You see many times in sports where people are, telling children to, play football, play basketball, play anything. And first of all, it's an understanding that the child would want to do that. And what we have is an opportunity when somebody, a youth or parents, are choosing to do things alone. Well, then we ask the questions of, what's the benefits of, being a part of a team? And most people don't have that value because they haven't experienced it. And that would be one of the experiences that goes on inside of this program that wakes a lot of people up, that, there are people that want to assist, but you'd have to know where you are in life first to realize I need, I like the way that sounds, I'd like to, step into that path. And when it happens, then they start to experience how support and assistance is much different than just, telling people what to do.
Now, last time we spoke, we talked about how the families come out and supported the team while they're playing. And it's not just about, I think you said, it's not just about them learning how to shoot. It's about them learning to work and self-confidence. So in your program, is it steps or something that you're going to help them develop to that? Do you have steps or
Yeah,
some sort of guidelines?
so there's
like
three.
First, 1, 2, 3.
That's exactly
Okay.
it. There are 3 different programs. If you didn't know how you were creating the atmosphere or the impact inside of a room, then you wouldn't understand your full potential. And so the first program is called My Fundamentals. And that's 12 weeks of children actually understanding who they are and how they're creating the path. For the child who looks to play basketball and wants to take all the shots, or the child who never asks for the ball, or even the child who never gets back with an effort level on defense, it provides, what is going on when you do that. And if you look at that inside the house, what is it when it occurs when a child isn't taking care of their responsibilities at home? And how does that have an impact on parents and guardians? And what does that do also in the school when children are doing it? And if they didn't have that complete understanding all the way around of what's going on, then where's the, where's the understanding of why it would make a difference? And once children on a basketball court realize that when they team up and they're actually moving the ball and they're taking on focus and effort and responsibility and these things that create a team, they start to see the value in it. And then, of course, we have the opportunity to talk about what's going on the rest of their life. The second program would then go into My Essentials. After you figured out for 12 weeks about yourself, well, let's figure out the structure in which you can start changing things in your life. And so the kids, of course, have really, enjoyed the sport of basketball. So what we use is a very simple technique in going through, improving jump shots and improving dribbling and skills. And we don't tell them what it is they're doing because, of course, if you share opinion, you never know if the person you're working with, especially youth, is believing you or they're just, riddled with that doesn't make sense. So we work with videotaping the children shooting the ball, and we have to actually have them look at the videos of that. And that's from some children it's a jaw-dropping experience because they didn't realize what they were doing. But what we do is then come in to support them to say, okay, so what plan could we create so that we can get to where it is you want? And the structure of the My Essentials is then to say you can use that anywhere in life. So parents are being provided the opportunity of that same idea. Where are you now with the child and their jump shot, allowing them to see it, and then working with them to create the structures. So how many shots are we going to get up? How many minutes? Or how much of our plan is designed around what it is you want to work on? And then in 10 weeks' time, inside of the program, we film them again and we split screen it. And then it leads up to the last program, the My Team. And I would share that's really the opportunity where many people want to be with the people in their life. How do we work on communication when, of course, in life there's always conflict resolution. So you get college and pro players who go through the same exact plays every day. Pick and roll, pick and pop, down screen, up screen, just simple things on a basketball court that in the pros they look so easy. But when you work with youth, well, it has an opportunity to share with children, well, how would we do that and what goes behind the conversations to make that happen so that there's patience involved and timing and communication. And what parents are getting there is exactly what's happening inside of their life. If you're going through the same motions in basketball, what are the things we do in life that also getting up out of bed and getting ready for school? After you come home from school, what are you doing? What are you doing before you go to bed? And when you have that opportunity, you have conflict resolution through communication. And so what's occurring there is the pool of which it gets larger and larger every one of our seasons. More and more people are inside that program, which start to influence everybody in the room.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Normally, this is done, after schools, correct?
That's correct.
After school. And it's done, apparently you're gonna have it in Claremont and Tavares.
Currently, we do have it going on right now in Tavares and Claremont.
Okay, and it's normally from, I see, 4:30 to 6 p.m.
We have two groups.
Two groups,
So
okay.
there's a 7 to 9-year-old group that's from 4:30 to 6, 2 days a week. And then there's a 10 to 14-year-old group that's 2 days a week. And then everybody inside those three programs would come in on Saturdays, and we all play with an opportunity to work on the definition of team. A dynamic group of people working together on a common goal with an understanding of the agreement that holds them close. More people are calling in right now.
And not only that, apparently, once they discover themselves, now they can get home and communicate better with their parents and better relationship with those neighborhoods and people around the neighborhood, because now they've got a better understanding of where they stand at. Am I correct?
Well, that's true, because the bridge in this is that, home is a team, and
Correct.
people in a community can be a team. And when this occurs, it's not to say it's just in this gymnasium or on a floor it occurs. We provide so much in the program that gets the families involved to how do you get it outside? How do you create this same understanding where parents and community leaders start to identify that people are changing, this approach in support and assistance.
So let me ask you this: you've been a Pro Bowl. Would you say after you got started playing pro, that's when you realized more of teamwork and started working as a team, or had you discovered that before you started playing pro?
I wouldn't say discovered. I would use the word experience. If you
okay.
experience people that are working together at a very high end, again with focus and time management and effort, then you're talking about not just on a professional court, but everywhere in life, in business, in
Right.
in police departments, in everywhere that you could find groups of people working together. I experienced it at a high level, and then when I came out of basketball, I realized that the conversation to ask people the questions of these things was not being approached in that way. I give you, for instance, if you watch youth sports, you'll see groups come together and they put their hand in a circle and they say 1, 2, 3, team. But then when they go home, well, what's occurring? So
Correct.
are we just telling people team and identifying this is like what we can say in this moment, but then we're not working on the character or the leadership or the skill sets that have them understanding how exactly does that work and take it in the other places? Because it would be, how would I say, it wouldn't be an experience people haven't heard or seen where a professional athlete talking on the television screen would share about how, well, back in the, when I played, this is what happened in team, and this is how it bridges to this. But it bridges to it, but it doesn't create a translation of how it occurred or how it's going to occur inside of an office space. It's just words. Just like just putting your hand in the middle and going team, and then we say we're all going to go over to somebody's house the next morning to assist in yard work or something, and then when you get there, 2 people show up late. One person's sitting there on the phone the whole time. One person's yelling about everybody how to do the proper paint strokes on painting the fence. It doesn't occur until people understand exactly what they're doing and how they do it.
And that's the key, getting them to not just do it here, but take as well the fundamentals back home and learn exactly what they need to do to help their family. And communications, would you say that is more valuable than any other family trait, or something else?
Exactly. Well, you're sharing it right there, the word value. If you didn't understand the value of being unselfish, well, then you wouldn't understand exactly how what you're going to do to help others is actually going to help yourself in return, and how everyone's going to rise. And that occurs a lot where people just go in for what they want in a room or in a space or in an opportunity. And what occurs is you leave the people in the room that were with you to understand exactly what it is you're looking for every time. So in business, in children, at home, at school, it always works like that. If someone is doing something and telling people what's going on, they're working in a way that everyone in the room is gaining something out of that experience, whether it's something beneficial or just experiencing, you know, the opinions or maybe the backlash or that of what's being spoken.
And if you can look right in the camera, let everybody know your mission, and then exactly when is the best time your office is open,
Okay.
so that they already know when they can contact, where you're located again, and then also let them know where you're going to be at, where you're going to be appearing at.
Okay. Hi, my name is Pat Burke. I'm the owner of the Hoops Life program, and my mission is to partner with people, schools, families, communities, to work with youth and provide them the understanding of an approach in life that supports team. If you'd like more information on this program, please contact us at info@hoopslifeusa.com, or you can go to our webpage at hoopspatburke.com, or you can call our telephone number at our office at 352-253-4667. Looking forward to talking with you and an opportunity to share what it is we're doing.